In an industry filled with bright lights and fleeting fame, very few stars shine steadily for years without losing their warmth, humility, or authenticity. And that is exactly what makes Kathryn Bernardo so special. She is not just admired, she is loved. And love, especially the kind that lasts for over a decade, is never accidental. It is earned. A young girl with a big dream. Long before she became a box office queen, Kathryn was simply a young girl with expressive eyes and a natural ability to connect with emotion. She entered showbiz at an early age, stepping into a world that can be both magical and overwhelming. Many child stars struggle to transition into adulthood under constant public scrutiny. But Kathryn did something rare. She grew gracefully. Her early television roles allowed audiences to witness her potential. She wasn't just memorizing lines, she was feeling them. Even as a teenager, she carried a sincerity that resonated deeply with viewers. People didn't just see a promising actress, they saw heart. Growing up in front of the nation, few celebrities experience what Kathryn did, growing up with millions watching every step. From teen dramas to romantic films, her journey unfolded publicly. Audiences saw her mature not just physically, but emotionally. She made mistakes, she learned, she evolved, and instead of hiding her growth, she embraced it. There's something incredibly powerful about vulnerability in a public figure. Kathryn never pretended to be perfect. She allowed fans to see her humanity, her insecurities, her lessons, her strength. That transparency created trust, and trust builds loyalty. The era that defined a generation. Her iconic on-screen partnership with Daniel Padilla shaped an entire era of Philippine entertainment. Together, they starred in films and television projects that broke records and captured hearts. Their chemistry felt effortless. Their connection seemed genuine. The Kath Neal phenomenon became more than just a love team. It became a cultural movement. But what made Kathryn stand out even within that massive success was her individuality. She never disappeared into the pairing. She shined on her own. Even while sharing the spotlight, she maintained her identity. And that balance, partnership without losing self, is rare. Breaking beyond expectations. As years passed, Kathryn began choosing roles that challenged her. She stepped away from predictable characters and embraced complexity. Her performances became deeper, more layered, more mature. Audiences began to see not just a romantic lead, but a serious actress. She proved she could carry films with emotional weight. She proved she could evolve. She proved she wasn't defined by comfort zones. And with every risk she took, respect for her craft grew stronger. The power of grace. Fame often changes people, but what makes Kathryn beloved isn't just her talent, it's her grace. In interviews, she speaks thoughtfully. She acknowledges her supporters. She credits her team. She carries success gently. There is no loud arrogance, no entitlement, just gratitude. And gratitude is magnetic. It makes people feel included in your journey. It reminds them that behind the glamour is a human being who remembers where she started. Strength behind the smile. Like anyone in the public eye, Kathryn has faced challenges, rumors, pressure, expectations, heartbreak. Yet through every season, she has maintained composure. Not because she doesn't feel deeply, but because she understands that storms pass. Her strength is quiet but firm. She doesn't respond with chaos. She responds with clarity. And that strength has become one of her most admired qualities. Evolving into her own woman. Today, Kathryn Bernardo represents more than just romantic success stories on screen. She represents growth, independence, self-awareness. As she steps into new chapters of her life and career, fans see a woman who is no longer just a young actress navigating fame, but a confident individual choosing her own direction. She has learned to set boundaries, to value peace, to prioritize fulfillment, and in doing so, she has inspired countless young women to do the same. Why she is truly loved. Many actresses are admired, but Kathryn is cherished because she doesn't just perform roles, she connects. She doesn't just chase success, she honors it. She doesn't just represent beauty, she embodies character. Her fans feel protective of her, not because she demands loyalty, but because she has earned it through consistency, sincerity, and respect. The responsibility of being a role model. With love comes responsibility, and whether she asked for it or not, Kathryn Bernardo became a role model to an entire generation. Young girls look at her and see possibility. Young women see resilience. Parents see discipline. In an age where social media magnifies every mistake, Kathryn has navigated her influence carefully. She understands that millions are watching, not just her red carpet appearances, but her values. And she has chosen maturity over impulse, grace over reaction, silence over noise. That kind of self control in a high pressure industry is not accidental, it is intentional. Reinventing without losing herself. One of the hardest things in entertainment is reinvention. Audiences can box you into a certain image, the sweet girl, the romantic lead, the love team actress. But Kathryn refused to be limited. She explored bolder characters, more complex emotions, more independent narratives. She embraced growth, not as rebellion, but as evolution. That shift showed something powerful. She was no longer acting to prove herself. She was acting to express herself. And that difference changes everything. The courage to step into new chapters. Change is rarely comfortable. When longtime partnerships evolve or end, the public often reacts louder than the people involved. But Kathryn handled transitions with composure. Instead of engaging in comparisons or narratives created by others, she focused on herself, her healing, her direction, her future. That decision sent a quiet but powerful message. A woman's story is not defined by who stands beside her. It is defined by who she chooses to become. And in choosing growth, she reminded everyone that happiness is personal, not performative. Businesswoman, not just actress. Beyond acting, Kathryn has shown she understands longevity. She's invested in businesses. She's built her brand carefully. She's created stability beyond the spotlight. That level of foresight separates stars from icons. Because while fame can fade, strategy builds legacy. And Kathryn is building something lasting. She is thinking ahead, preparing for life beyond the cameras, securing a future rooted not just in applause, but in independence, the emotional intelligence that sets her apart. There's a softness to Kathryn, but don't mistake it for weakness. It is emotional intelligence. She listens before she speaks. She reflects before she reacts. She carries herself with awareness. In interviews, you can sense that she understands her journey deeply. The sacrifices, the privileges, the lessons. And that self-awareness is rare. It's what keeps her grounded even when surrounded by success. Why her supporters stay loyal. Fandom can be loud. It can be divided. It can be intense. But the loyalty Kathryn inspires isn't built on drama. It's built on consistency. For years, she has shown up, delivered performances, maintained professionalism, expressed gratitude. When fans invest their time and emotions in a star, they want reassurance that their support matters. Kathryn gives them that reassurance. She acknowledges them. She thanks them. She grows with them. And that mutual respect is why her support system remains strong. A woman entering her prime. There is something powerful about watching someone step fully into their prime. Not rushed, not pressured, but earned. Kathryn is no longer the young actress finding her way. She is a woman who knows her worth, who understands her power, who chooses her peace, and that confidence radiates. It shows in her posture, her smile, her voice, her choices. She is not chasing validation anymore. She is walking in self-assurance. More than fame, a lasting impact. At the end of the day, awards matter. Box office numbers matter. Ratings matter. But impact? Impact lasts longer. And Kathryn's impact goes beyond entertainment. She has influenced fashion, empowered women, encouraged emotional maturity, inspired dreamers. She has shown that you can evolve publicly without losing dignity, that you can face heartbreak without losing hope, that you can grow without becoming hardened. And in a world hungry for authenticity, that example means everything. The real reason she is loved. So how did she become one of the most loved actresses in the Philippines? Because she didn't try to be perfect. She tried to be real. She didn't chase headlines. She chased growth. She didn't demand loyalty. She earned it. And through every season, from teenage romance to adult reinvention, she has remained herself. Not louder, not colder, not distant, just wiser, stronger, more grounded. A legacy still unfolding. The beautiful part of Kathryn Bernardo's story? It isn't finished. There are more risks to take, more stories to tell, more chapters to open. But no matter where her journey leads, one truth remains clear. She didn't just become one of the most loved actresses because of talent alone. She became beloved because she showed people that growth can be graceful, that strength can be gentle, And that success, when carried with humility, becomes something far more powerful than fame. It becomes inspiration. And that is why her light continues to shine.